pass rush certainly, front defense took care of business last week. What changed that allowed that to be so dominant? Anything?
Well, I think Mo talked about it. I think Mo, we're pretty talented up front, and we knew that coming in. And I think that Mo just says it's time for us to kind of get going and doing the things we need to do. Now, the one thing we did change is a lot with the pass rush lanes, and how we were going to execute our pass rush. And I think that helped. I think it condensed the pocket, didn't give him any escape lanes, and really helped us out.
If I can follow up, presumably that would be helpful this week. You think of Maine as a power team, but it's very much a passing team, right, at this point?
Yeah, they're throwing it quite a bit. And, yeah, they've always been a physical run type of team, but I think they got such great wide receivers and the quarterback's excellent. They're doing what fits them the best.
I remember in the press conference Saturday night, you mentioned, paraphrasing, that you can't win a whole lot of games if we don't have at least 200 yards of total offense. I think you had like 180, something like that Saturday. What needs to get going on that side of the ball to be effective against a Maine or, further down the line?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty disappointing effort offensively. The one saving grace is we didn't turn the ball over, and we probably did enough defensively and special teams to win a game. But yeah, we gotta block people better, whether it's up front or on the perimeter. We got to have the ability to throw the ball to loosen up the run game. So all those things will play a part. But we've run it decently this year, some, and some games we haven't. We got to get better. We got to improve.
I was going to follow up with, as far as you mentioned, the quarterback play. Has there been any thought of maybe using both English and Mancuso more in the game, or will you stick with English moving forward?
Well, we'll see how it plays out this Saturday. Not real sure. They're both competing every day in practice, and it's just like, it's like any position on your football team. You're going to play the best guys, play the guys that practice the best, that perform the best, and Bo got beat up pretty good on Saturday, so he's been kind of slow this week. But I think we'll get him back towards the end of the week where he'll be full go, and then we're just going to make a decision, how we're going to play that position.
Coach, is practice more not less intense, but are the guys more relaxed after getting that win that seems to have been eluding you? I know the intensity is still there, but are they playing as tight now that they got that off their backs?
Well, I think last week in practice, was a really good week of practice in preparation. I think our guys were excited to be out there, and the 2 days we've had so far have been fine. They're all bought in. They know that we can win games this year, no question about that. And we got to stick together and keep practicing and preparing and doing everything we got to do to be ready to play a game on Saturday.
Is it one of those things where you think you might look back at the end of the season and be able to circle that Albany game as one that got things going in the right direction?
Well, you might want to ask me that in about 8 weeks, and we can revisit that one. That's only one win. It felt good. Our guys needed it. It seemed like forever since we had a win, and I know they were excited to win, but we just got to somehow get to 1-0 this week again. I don't know. I don't care how it is. Somehow, some way, have more points at the end of the day than they do.
As guys needed it, how much did you need that win Saturday?
Oh, I don't know. We all want to win the same amount. I think, everybody wants to win, from coaches to players. I don't think there's any difference in the mindset when it comes to winning football games. I think everybody hates to lose, and you can enjoy the game quickly, and I've never been one to really enjoy the wins, as much as the losses hurt. I mean, the losses hurt way more than when we win a game and how I feel afterwards. Now, obviously, you're excited to win, and I think our guys, from coaches to players, everybody, we all want to win. We all want to do well. We all want to execute, and as long as we stick together, we'll be all right.
Russ, Albany had several pre-snap penalties. I'm wondering if you get the sense that perhaps the way the defensive front was playing influenced that to any degree. False starts, maybe misalignments on their part, trying to compensate for what was going on.
I'm not real sure. I do know that that they're in no huddle, and they got one penalty when they tried to tempo and didn't have the correct formation. But there were a lot of hard counts, trying to draw us off sides. Our guys did a great job of not jumping, so there were a lot of hard counts. And then sometimes, that offensive lineman, excuse me, gets in his stance forever. So he's in that stance, like down on the goal line down there. The one time, they're in their stance forever, and then they look back and start calling a play, and the guy flinches and, backs him up. So, that may have been a little bit of a factor in it when when they are trying to hard count you quite a bit. It keeps those guys in their stance for a long time.
Any great Maine memories from Richmond or William and Mary or anything like that, personally?
Yeah, the one we went up there in 2005 was a big win for us. We weren't playing very well, and I remember we weren't playing real well on offense that game, but we had, I think, the 75-yard screen to Josh Vaughn. Do you remember that one?
It was in the rain.
Was it in the rain? I don't even remember.
Yep.
Yeah, down our – yeah. That was a huge game. Did Lance Gray have a pick six in that one too? I think he did.
That was a big game because you guys won like 7 or 8 straight after that.
Well, I think we lost to Vanderbilt the next week.
Oh, but
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, we got on a roll and started playing better, and both sides of the ball. That's when we moved Stacy Todd back to quarterback, and that made a huge difference. I mean, that year, to be honest with you, Stacy Todd carried the football team all by himself. And I remember sitting in there before the season started, and we were going round and round about playing Stacy at quarterback or wide receiver, and half the room said quarterback, half the room said wide out, and I was one of the idiots that said wide out. So I was on the wrong end of that one. Huh?
Levi Brown was a quarterback, right?
Well, it was Levi, and then we also had we were battling. I think Healy was in that battle, and probably Eric Ward. So we had some halfway decent guys there, but yeah, I mean, when Stacy went back to quarterback, he carried it, which was pretty cool. But I got out of the main question there.
I know you were frustrated about the holding calls Saturday. How much has that been talked about or will be talked about in practice this week about the holding calls or even penalties that you say, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot with?
Well, the holding calls are driving me nuts. We're holding way too much. Most of them were now they came back and they said the one they got on Joe Moore wasn't the guy kind of flopped down there. But there were other ones that they didn't call, they could have called. So it all evens out in some way. But we can't be grabbing. We can't have our arms outside the framework of the body. And too many holding penalties in that game. I think one holding penalty is too many. But we got to do a better job with our hands. And that may be a question you ask Clayton when he comes up, because he's with Coach Ross every day, and he may can shed some more light on that.